Okay guys, we have a 12.3 inch unit from Mariway here installed, newer version of that 12.3 inch unit from Mariway, which uses a Qualcomm system now instead of the old P60. It seems a lot faster, so just want to do a little short demonstration to show you guys what's going on with it. As you can see, it boots up way faster. The settings are quite different on it, but essentially the same. It's just the way you get to the settings now is a little bit different. But here's how you get back to the original interface here. And then the settings for the original interface, you don't have to go into the factory settings anymore. You just swipe left onto the screen there, as you see, and that's where you go into the configuration for the original screen menu, like the car mode. Let's see here, then the key template, which on this one is you have 4 selected there for the key template. And you want to go small screen if you want to see the button packs on the side. But if you go with the large screen, as you can see, it just basically stretches the screen. And if you go into reverse, you'll notice that you get a bigger camera with the reverse on when you have it on large screen. Some may or may not like that. But you do have that choice once again, like the older units once had. But that's just how you get back to the smaller screen. And the camera is pretty much the same. It's just stretched out when you set it to the larger screen. It's going to pretty much show the same, which still gives you a bigger view than the original screen anyway. So. But that's how you get to the original menu there, and that's how you set up. You just swipe to set up the configuration for that. You got to make sure you still have to choose capacitive or resistive. This was a capacitive screen, so we have that there. Make sure you choose Bosch single instead of double as well, because there's no double or dual view here in the US. And if you have the Harman system, actually you'll choose the Harman. I think you guys are all familiar with that, so we won't waste time on that. Now going into the Android settings now, we have the settings here. You don't have to go into the factory set menu again, and it gives you the option of you can it'll do startup with navigation, or you can turn on startup to the original screen, so when you start the vehicle, instead of it going to the Android interface, it'll go to the original interface. That's if you want that. Looks like they have a no driving, no video. I guess you can turn that on, so there's no video when you're driving. I guess I haven't tested it out. The navigation app, you can set that to whatever navigation app you're running. Same with the music and video. And the Z-Link for your phone, you can set that as well, so you can pair your phone to the Z-Link. That way you can have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, whatever. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on that. Factory settings there. If you happen to hit that, you don't want to restore the unit, so make sure you stay away from that restore factory settings. But you can do a reboot, no big deal. On the display, on the reverse for the camera, make sure you keep it set to original camera, just like the old unit. The floating button here, I think that's important. So if you turn that on, you're gonna get that little floating button again, if you know, like using that. But you know, they made this new unit to where you really don't need it, so I like to turn that one off. Sound settings there, won't waste time on that. And that's pretty much it for that menu. You can go out of that. You see, you notice you can just swipe left on the screen and it'll bring up this menu as well on the side button packs. It's got a little quick access to like apps. If you touch here, it gives you your apps as you can put on your unit. That button will take you back to the original screen, of course. That's for navigation, of course. Swipe and go back easily. Here is like, if you got apps, you can quickly go into different apps and close them out if you need to, like so. So in my opinion, I think it is quite a improvement over the previous unit. I haven't seen too many things other than some of the spelling. Like here it should say online map, and a couple other spelling areas that they got wrong on here, but you know, that's not a deal breaker. I'm sure they'll fix that in the future at some point, but right now I don't think it's a deal breaker to not, you know, want to have one of these units installed. Make sure I'm not leaving out anything here. For the Android settings, if you want to go and set up your network like a hotspot or whatever, you go here to do that. And for your time zone, you got to be sure to go in and change the time zone as well, to make sure that your hotspot and your internet is working. And to do that, you just select time zone here, select your region, which is United States, of course, and you want to select, of course I'm out in Pacific time, so I select Los Angeles. Pretty much the same as the other unit would do. You'll find your way around. I'm not going to waste time in the settings menu here, but you'll find your way around that. Now the factory set menu, if you go, where is it, here, the code is 8888, and there's not much there like the old unit where you had to put the 6s in, but the only thing you really got to go to here is the unit set, where you set it to miles per hour instead of kilometers per hour. That's the only reason you would have to go into the factory set menu there, so no big deal on that. I think I've covered as much as I need to on the head unit.